Hello and welcome to Poison Smarts, a poisoning prevention program from the Blue Ridge Poison Center at UVA Health. I'm Kristen Wenger, the Education Coordinator. Here's what you will learn from this presentation. First, what is poisoning and why is poisoning a problem? Next, we'll talk about prevention. What steps can you take to prevent a poisoning from happening? And last, if you think someone may have been poisoned, what should you do? And how can the Blue Ridge Poison Center help? What would you do if you walked into the kitchen and found your child with a bottle of medicine that she managed to grab from, say, the top of the refrigerator? What if you discovered that she had managed to remove the cap and had actually swallowed some of the pills inside? This frightening scenario and others like it has happened to countless parents and caregivers. Would you call 911? Would you call the child's pediatrician? Would you rush to the emergency department? Well, none of those actions would be wrong, but there's a better choice. You could call poison control right away. Most people are not really sure exactly what a poison control center is or what we do, so in case that describes you, here's a quick explanation. Poison control centers are staffed by nurses and doctors with additional special training in recognizing and treating exposures to poisons of all kinds. We are the poison experts. But we aren't a clinic that you visit. You call us on the phone 24 hours a day. Our experts are always standing by to take your call, so you get answers fast. Calls are free and completely confidential. There are many poison control centers around the country. If you live anywhere in the part of Virginia colored blue on this map, your center is the Blue Ridge Poison Center here at UVA Health. But you don't need to worry about which poison center you're supposed to call, because all poison centers share the same hotline phone number, 1-800-222-1222. No matter where you are in the country, dialing that number will connect you to the closest one. Last year, the Blue Ridge Poison Center handled nearly 29,000 phone calls. What kind of things do people call us about? Well, here's an example. A man took a big swallow from a bottle of water he thought was his. It tasted terrible. Turned out the bottle actually belonged to his roommate who was using it to store laundry bleach. This is a case of mistaken identity, and it's a common scenario. Some products look so much alike, or their containers look so much alike, people can make a mistake. In particular, many liquid cleaning products, automotive products, or other household chemicals may resemble a sports drink or soda or juice, or, in this case, water. How can you prevent this? Keep products in their original containers. Don't pour them into another container or a dish, which is normally used for food or drink. Someone could make a mistake. Before we go much further, let me explain what I mean when I say something is a poison. What is a poison? Well, it's any substance that can harm you if it gets into your body in the wrong way or the wrong amount. Let's take hand sanitizer as an example. Hand sanitizer is an important tool for controlling the spread of all kinds of germs. The instructions say to rub a few drops on your hands, and this is completely safe. But hand sanitizer contains alcohol and other chemicals which could result in poisoning if you swallow it. This is an example of something getting into your body in the wrong way. You're not supposed to swallow hand sanitizer. Likewise, rubbing an entire bottle of hand sanitizer all over your body at once could be dangerous, as the alcohol and other chemicals could be absorbed through your skin. This would be an example of something getting into your body in the wrong amount. When a poison gets into your body, we call this an exposure. The most common way that exposures happen is by swallowing. But you can also be poisoned through your skin, through your eyes, or by breathing something harmful. Poison exposures may result in illness or injury. The amount of substance involved in an exposure can determine whether or not a person is going to become sick or injured. As an example, let's think again about that hand sanitizer. Sometimes, after an adult puts a small amount of hand sanitizer onto a child's hand, instead of rubbing their hands together, the child licks it off. Well, as I just mentioned, swallowing hand sanitizer is dangerous. However, one or two drops are such a small amount. It is very unlikely that the child will be harmed by that. On the other hand, some substances which are normally harmless with common everyday use or in small amounts can actually become a poison if the amount swallowed, touched, or breathed is high enough. For example, this is a true story. A university student was poisoned when he drank an entire bottle of soy sauce as part of a fraternity hazing. He spent several days in intensive care at the hospital because he overdosed on sodium or salt. Soy sauce has a very high sodium content. Salt is something that we eat every day and that, in fact, our bodies need in order to function. But there's an amount which could harm you if you swallow it all at once. So, to summarize, people often ask me, well, what's the most poisonous thing that you should not keep in your home? And the answer is almost anything could be poisonous if the amount that you swallow, touch, or breathe is large enough to cause harm. In other words, the amount matters. Poisoning is a leading type of injury that requires medical care in our country. Nationally, there are over 2 million calls to poison centers each year. That's about one call every 15 seconds. Today, more people die from poisoning than from car accidents. Nearly half of all of our calls are about children younger than age 6. Poison centers do get a lot of calls about young children, and if you've ever spent time around a toddler, this is probably not a surprise to you. Children are very curious, they get into everything, and they tend to put a lot of things in their mouth. If you currently do not live in a home with young children, you might be wondering, why do you need to care about poison centers? Well, poisoning happens to teen and adults too. In fact, the most serious poisoning injuries, the kind, for instance, that might require a visit to a hospital, happen to teens and adults, not to children. Furthermore, most poisoning deaths happen to adults between the ages of 20 and 54, not to children. Also, poisoning is expensive. It's estimated that poisoning is responsible for about $2.5 billion in lost wages and lost productivity every year. Why? Well, a poisoning illness or injury might keep you from being able to work. It can also be expensive to treat a poisoning if medical care is required. So it's a myth that only families with young children need poison centers. In fact, poison centers and poisoning prevention is for everyone. Let's get back to some more true stories. A woman was cleaning her bathroom and poured two different cleaning products into the toilet bowl. Within seconds, she experienced coughing, wheezing, shortness of breath, and burning eyes and throat. Her symptoms were so severe she had to leave the room. What happened? Well, one of those cleaning products contained ammonia and the other contained bleach. When combined, ammonia and bleach create a poisonous gas, which is very dangerous to breathe. There are other household chemicals which are safe to use on their own, but when combined, could create a toxic chemical. Prevent this by only using one chemical product at a time. Don't mix products together. Let's take a look at the leading causes of poisoning. They are all common substances found in and around most homes. For example, cleaning products and also personal care products. These are non-drug products that we use in or on our bodies, such as mouthwash, cosmetics, perfume, hair dye, nail polish remover, stuff like that. Adults sometimes mistakenly leave these products where young children can easily get their hands on them, such as right on the bathroom counter or in the diaper bag. That is why these are the two leading causes of poisoning for young children. Pesticides are a leading cause of poisoning. Alcohol, household chemical products, This is a big category including many things such as antifreeze, gasoline, paint, solvents, glues, craft supplies, and pool chemicals. Gases are fumes, and the number one source of poisoning for all ages is medicines. How can medicine be poisonous? Well, it can be poisonous if you take the wrong amount. The number one mistake that people call the Poison Control Center about is accidentally taking their prescribed medicines twice. They take it once and then they get distracted and they forget that they've already taken it and they take it again. Medicine can be poisonous if you accidentally take the wrong thing or if you take it the wrong way. For example, swallowing skin cream or putting eardrops into your eye. And medicine can be poisonous if you take it in the wrong combination. Some medicines should not be combined with each other or with alcohol. Here's another true story. A woman woke up at 3 a.m. and felt the beginning symptoms of a migraine headache. She didn't want to wake her husband by turning on the lights, so she reached for her migraine medicine in the dark. At daylight, she realized that she had actually taken her husband's prescription medicine by mistake. Why is this a potential poisoning concern? Someone else's prescribed medicine could have unexpected effects on you, even if you have similar symptoms. The Blue Ridge Poison Center answers a lot of calls from people who have accidentally swallowed the wrong thing. Prevent mistakes like this. Don't take medicine in the dark. Always turn on the lights and put on your glasses if you need them so that you can take a quick look at the label and make sure that you're using the right product in the right way. A man thought he had the flu. He began taking several over-the-counter products, one for his fever, one for his sore throat, one for his body aches, and another to help him sleep. His symptoms did not improve, so he started increasing the doses, higher than what was listed as safe on the label. After 3 days, he developed nausea, vomiting, and stomach pain. He thought his flu was getting worse, so he went to the emergency department. A doctor discovered that he had actually overdosed on acetaminophen, one of the ingredients in each of the products he was taking. Acetaminophen overdoses can be very serious and result in permanent damage to your liver. Prevent this by always following the dosing instructions on all medicines, your prescription medicine and over-the-counter products. Be especially careful not to combine 2 or more over-the-counter medicines which contain the same active ingredients. You could accidentally overdose. More is not better. How can you be sure that you're taking an over-the-counter medicine safely? By reading the drug facts label. By law, all over-the-counter products must provide this information. This is a real drug facts label from a package of acetaminophen. One brand name of acetaminophen that might be familiar to you is Tylenol. Let's take a look. Number 1, the first thing listed on the drug facts label is the active ingredients. These are the chemical names of each medicine in the product and what they do. Taking more than one product with the same active ingredient could lead to an accidental overdose. Number 2, the uses. This tells you the symptoms that the medicine treats. Number 3, the warnings. This section tells you what other medicines you should not take at the same time, the side effects that this medicine may cause, when to ask a doctor before taking this medicine, and other reasons why this medicine might not be safe for you. Number 4, the directions. This section tells you the amount you should take, how often you should take it, and how much you can safely take in one day. Sections 5 and 6 contain other information, including the inactive ingredients. Check here for other safety information you need to know and ingredients that you might be allergic to. I also really like how most drug fact labels include a reminder to call poison control if someone accidentally takes too much. Here's another true story. A couple was visiting their son's family for the holidays. While everyone was distracted, the baby crawled over to Grandma's purse and pulled out a tube of over-the-counter muscle cream. Examples of this kind of product are things like Icy Hot or Bengay. The baby easily removed the cap and put the tube in her mouth. Moments later, the adults discovered her with muscle cream in her mouth and all over her face and hands. Why is this a problem? Let's look closely at the active ingredients for this cream as listed on its drug facts label. As you can see, this cream contains 3 active ingredients. Both camphor and menthol are essential oils which are poisonous to swallow. But also, methyl salicylate is chemically similar to aspirin. According to the label, this cream is 30% methyl salicylate. If the baby swallowed about a teaspoon of it, it would be similar to swallowing 10 or more aspirins. That could be a harmful amount for a small baby. The only way to prevent young children from getting into medicines or other dangerous products is to keep everything stored up high, out of their sight and reach, and preferably locked. This means giving guests a safe place to store their belongings. A group of college friends found a recipe online for a tea made from poppy seeds. The website claimed that this would cause hallucinations, but because it was made from a plant, which is natural, it would be a safe and legal way to get high. Unfortunately, after drinking the tea, one of the friends was discovered unconscious and later died at a nearby hospital. Plants, herbals, and other natural substances contain chemical compounds which could be harmful if used in the wrong way or the wrong amount. Remember, the amount matters. If you eat poppy seeds in a small amount, such as in a muffin, this is not harmful at all. But when you steep a whole bunch of them in hot water to make a tea, the chemical compounds become highly concentrated into a dangerous amount. Prevent tragedies like this. Do not assume something is harmless just because it is natural. Get the facts from a reliable source. You can always call the Blue Ridge Poison Center for advice. Since we're on the subject of things found in nature, I thought I'd briefly mention that there are plenty of plants and animals in Virginia that can cause a poisoning. They are not the leading causes of poisoning, but they do happen. Keep in mind, our staff can provide expert help when someone is poisoned by a plant or a mushroom, or if someone receives a bite or a sting from a snake, a spider, a bee, or a jellyfish. Let's summarize everything I've just discussed into 5 easy steps that anyone can do to prevent a poisoning. Number 1, read labels. Read labels on your pesticides, cleaning products, medicines, and more. Labels contain information about how to use and store products safely. And make sure you can see the label clearly by turning on the lights and putting on your glasses if you wear them. Number 2, follow dose instructions whenever giving or taking medicine. Remember, more is not better. Number 3, use the right container. Transferring products into unlabeled bottles or containers used for food or drinks is dangerous and could lead to a case of mistaken identity. Number 4, avoid dangerous combinations. This is true for cleaning products, medicines, and other household chemicals. And lastly, number 5, protect children by keeping poisons up high, out of their sight and reach. Use a locked container if you can, and this might mean giving guests a safe place to store their belongings when visiting your home. Up to now, we've been discussing poisonings that are unintentional or accidents. And in fact, most poisoning, 3 out of every 4, are unintentional. But some poisonings are intentional. An intentional poisoning is when someone is harmed because they swallowed, touched, or breathed a substance on purpose. This might have happened because the person was trying to harm themselves by suicide, or it might have happened because the person was misusing a drug or other substance for the purpose of getting high. Intentional poisonings can be very serious. If you or someone you know is at risk for suicide or substance abuse, please talk to a trusted healthcare provider. You can get help, and treatment does work. What is one thing that everyone can do to help prevent intentional poisoning? Protect your medicines. Take steps to make sure that your medicines don't become the reason someone overdoses or harms themselves. This is a true story. Someone in my family had their prescription pain medicine stolen by the house painters while she was at home. The pill bottle was sitting on her kitchen counter. They emptied it while she was in the next room, and she didn't discover that the pills were missing until the next day. This is a case of strangers stealing medicine, but many people who admit to stealing medicines say they actually take them from a friend or a family member without permission. There are two steps that we can all take to prevent our medicines from being diverted into the wrong hands where they may cause harm. Number one, store your prescription medicines in a safe, secret place known only to you. Medicine cabinets and bedside tables are easy targets. Instead, try the top shelf in a closet or the pantry or in a locked box that you keep in a high kitchen cabinet, someplace not obvious. Number two, get rid of expired and leftover medicines in your home. You can participate in a drug take-back event, or you can dispose of them in your household trash. To find a list of upcoming drug take-back events in your community, or for more information about how to dispose of medicines safely, visit the FDA website, www.fda.gov. Prevention works, but we are human. Mistakes happen. We can't control everything around us. Children are quick and people are unpredictable. How can you get help in a poison emergency? First of all, if someone is unconscious, having a seizure, or having trouble breathing, call 911 because this person needs hands-on medical care as soon as possible. In all other cases, call poison control. Call if someone has swallowed, handled, or breathed something harmful, and call if someone may have overdosed on any substance. Stay calm. In most cases, poison exposures can be resolved quickly over the phone. If you suspect a poisoning, do not make someone throw up. That does not help and, in fact, could make problems worse. Do not seek help from the internet. The internet is notoriously incorrect about medical advice. And do not wait for symptoms to show. Instead, call the poison center right away, even if you just have a question or even if you're not sure a poisoning may have happened. It's always okay to call us. You're never bothering us. We are waiting by the phone 24 hours a day to hear from you so that we can help. Here's the number, 1-800-222-1222. Save it now into your smartphone so that you don't waste time searching for it in an emergency. As a reminder, calls are always free, always confidential, and we never close. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and learned something about poison centers and about poisoning prevention. To test your knowledge, scan this image with the camera of your smartphone to take a very quick anonymous survey. There are only 5 multiple choice questions, plus an opportunity to give us feedback. Filling out the survey helps us continue to provide free, quality public education. So please, help the Blue Ridge Poison Center out. Scan the image, complete the survey. It'll only be a moment of your time, and it means a great deal to us. Thank you.